And I want to welcome all who have come to tonight's meeting, the November 14, 6 p.m. meeting, which is our regular meeting. And appreciate certainly the presence of any of our department heads that might be here, and also those who have come tonight either for presentations or simply to see how some things get done.
That's right.
We'll begin with the invocation by Pastor Elder Virgil Gardner of the Pleasant Green Predestinarian Baptist Church, and happy to have him back again with us tonight. He has served us well over these past several years and has filled in for others and has led us in many other ways in the community. So we're grateful for his presence tonight.
Amen. Thank you, Mayor. And would like for you all's prayers because starting next month, we would be starting to house the homeless in our building on 5th Street. So y'all keep us in your prayers. Matter of fact, a couple of them have passed away just this week. Yeah. There have been 2 deaths, and they're some of our clients. So y'all keep us in your prayers. Let us pray. Dear God, we come tonight to pray for our city, to pray for our mayor, his cabinet, pray for all the officials, pray for the president, his staff, governor, his staff, mayor, his staff, our soldiers, Israel, Palestine, for those that have been in mass shootings. God, we pray for our fire department, our police department. God, we pray for our pastors, our churches. God, most of all, we pray for the homeless, the sick, those in nursing homes, hospitals, and behind jail bars. The sinner, man, woman, boy, girl that don't know you in the pardon of their sins. God, we're just so thankful that, God, you have allowed us to come tonight because the Bible says pray in season, pray out of season, and pray for seasons to come. And God, we living in a time now where we definitely need prayer. God, we pray that this meeting be conducted decent and in order. God, and we put a continual hedge around our mayor and his staff, his secretary, and all that are involved. God, just help us to be about our Father's business. Help us to be about the business of the city. God, bless us as we go into this winter season where where the homeless won't have any place to go. God, we just need you, God, more than silver or gold, because silver and gold will soon pass away. But we know that your word will last forever, and we'll be thankful to give you all the praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. To lead us in our pledge tonight to the flag, we have Nathan Green, First Class Scout, Boy Scout Troop 401.
Thank you, Mayor. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nathan, before you take your seat, would you tell some of us what it means to be a first-class scout?
A first-class scout means that if you have worked through the ranks of scout, tenderfoot, then going on to first class. This also means you are a very knowledgeable scout. Some rank I forgot, second class. All those ranks, meaning ranks that talk about learning skills, tying knots, building fires, first aid especially. Things of that nature. How to run a troop, leadership, things of that sort.
Wonderful. The operative word I heard him say there was worked.
Yeah, are you in the Order of the Arrow as well? I see that there too.
Yes, sir. I went through my ordeal this past summer.
Oh, yeah. Well, stick with it, man. I mean, lots
Yeah,
of
thank
Eagle
you.
Scout, that goes far.
This evening and leading us here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Congratulations on your achievement thus far. Expect even greater things. We'll call our our meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Brewer,
Here.
Commissioner Cole,
Here.
Commissioner Goble,
Here.
Commissioner Newby,
Here.
Mayor Blythe.
Here, thank you. We have one presentation tonight from Rumpke regarding the, well, actually, what's taking place now with commercial collection, and then, of course, in the next couple of months, that'll move to residential. And City Manager, would you mind?
Yeah, Mayor, we have Francis Ritchie with us this evening from Rumpke, and I think it's important to note that, as you know, Rumpke won the bid for commercial and residential garbage pickup service. Commercial made the transition earlier this year and is up and running. Residential will change first of the year. I think bins will start going out, if they haven't already, this month. But I think it's important for the public to understand that we didn't make this change without going through an RFP process. Waste Management had a contract that started back in 2014. We had a lot of problems with that service. We have a franchise agreement that requires us to put this out to bid, and we did so 18 months prior to the contract ending. And when we did that, we were very thorough. Rumpke was the chosen contractor with the cheaper prices, and we feel like we'll provide the better service to the community. So there's a lot of chatter out there that the prices did increase, some for residential, but at the same time with Waste Management, we hadn't seen a price increase over 5 years other than a fuel charge that was added during the pandemic. So I hate to be the one to say everything's going up, but the garbage disposal pickup cost went up for the first time in over 5 years. So I think it's $17.50 per resident. I recently moved to town, and I think it's fair for the service I get. But I'll give the floor to Francis Ritchie to give us a short presentation on the Rumpke residential service transition.
Good evening and welcome again.
Welcome. It's good to see everybody. Thank you all for having us. I brought Miss Hillary with me tonight, so she is going to give a little bit of a presentation to kind of show what we're doing currently to prepare for the residential takeover in January, and also an explanation of the processes that cities and counties go through to pick their chosen provider. So,
Thank you.
Hillary.
All right. Thank you all so much for having us. On behalf of our entire Rumpke team, I just want to say we're so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to service the city of Richmond, and we do look forward to rolling out residential service, as Rob alluded to, in January. So just to begin, we can go ahead and advance the slide. Just to begin, we wanted to recap how we got to where we are today. And Rob did touch on a bit of this just a moment ago. But in 2022, Richmond completed a competitive bid process to select an exclusive waste hauler for residential and commercial entities throughout the city. And Rumpke was selected as the best overall bid during that process. Oh, I'm so sorry. I should do that. Sorry. Let me go ahead and advance that. Yes, put me to work. That's right. All right, so after that process was completed, Rumpke was selected as the best overall bid, and we did roll out commercial service this past spring throughout the city, and now we're gearing up to begin residential service on January 2nd. As part of the agreement with the city, Rumpke will provide weekly trash collection, and that includes the use of one 95-gallon Rumpke trash cart, and will also include one large item pickup per week. So that's kind of the scope of residential trash service coming in January. So cart deliveries coming to a curb near you very soon. So our team is going to be beginning cart deliveries on December 11th, and those will continue throughout the month of December. One thing that we really want to stress is that residents should continue using their current trash cart through the month of December. The current provider will not service material placed inside Rumpke carts in December. So while carts will be showing up at your households, please do not use the carts until January. So the header there says new year, new trash cart. When our team goes out to deliver the carts, they will leave a flyer on each cart reminding residents not to use them until the new year. So that is carts. Cart deliveries are coming soon. Now, finally, we did want to discuss the service rates for weekly trash collection. So weekly trash collection will be provided for $17.50 per month plus fuel. And again, that does include the use of one 95-gallon trash cart per week, as well as one large item pickup per week. The previous contract was awarded in 2014. And I understand, I believe it was amended in 2018. So as mentioned previously, the city did go through the competitive bid process to select one waste hauler for the city. But, you know, during that time, the cost of goods and services has increased, right, over the past few years, especially. We've seen, you know, the price of garbage trucks go up, labor, maintenance, parts to maintain those trucks, insurance. So while we understand that this rate may be higher than the rate that residents are currently paying, it is reflective of those economic changes that have taken place, but it's also remaining competitive with rates that have been established in other central Kentucky communities. And I know, as Francis has mentioned previously, Rob, certainly during the bid process, our team is committed to excellent customer service, and that's what we are gearing up to provide. We're doing that on the commercial side currently, and we're ready to bring that to Richmond households in January. So with that, we do have a full-scale customer service team that is available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. to answer any questions that residents may have about service, what's included, how to prepare material each week. Please give us a call. Please send us an email. We are available, and we're here to answer any questions that residents may have.
One thing we really liked about Rumpke was, you know, over the years, we get a lot of calls about trash. We talk trash all week long at City Hall, so.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest complaints was customer service. You know, you would call Waste Management and you would get routed to Memphis or New Jersey and be on the line for 10, 15 minutes. Once you got a hold of a representative, they didn't know anything about our city or your street or anything else. And rest assured, Rumpke is local. They understand our community. And my understanding is you won't be on wait more than 5 minutes. I think your average wait time was less than 3 minutes or something. So I think that goes a long way in customer service for our garbage pickup service.
Absolutely. Thank you. We do have an example of the residential service mailer that's going to be going out and hitting mailboxes in December. We wanted to provide that to commissioners if you'd like to take a look. This is a draft, so there are a few changes that we need to make, but we did want to provide that as an example of what will be hitting mailboxes.
I do have a question if it's, now's the time. I don't
Absolutely.
want to interrupt your presentation. The fuel cost, you said, plus fuel cost. So does the consumer and us, do we know what the fuel cost adjustment would be? Is that yearly or?
So fuel is a fluctuating percentage, and it's based on the Midwest fuel average. You can look on the Department of Energy website.
Is that what you base yours off of?
Correct. That's correct. Yes, and it's we will bill Richmond residents quarterly, so it'll adjust quarterly. If fuel goes down, the fuel rate goes down. So it's a level of protection for us and for the residents, so.
So what's the highest it's ever been? I'm just
Oh, goodness. I think we hit, Francis, I want to say 29%
Yes.
recently.
How much?
29%
Yeah.
was the highest. I believe right now we're at
Right around 20?
right around 20%, yes.
Has
So
it been lower than 15? I'm just,
we have seen it lower, yes, than 15. So depending on what's happening in the marketplace around fuel, that will fluctuate.
and does that quarterly bill go out with your regular trash bill?
Yes, it's one bill for your service, and it has the fuel charge on it and everything. So it's one bill every 3 months.
Because what I'm leading up to is that some customers are gonna call and say, hey, my fuel or my trash went up.
Sure.
Why?
Yeah.
And so we can be able to say, and we all do get calls, and we can say it's because of your fuel cost adjustment,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's correct. And we do maintain a historical fuel surcharge chart on our website. So you can go back to, I think, 2014 and see the rate and how it has progressed throughout the years. So you can kind of look at that as a guide. But that does live on our website. If you just Google Rumpke fuel surcharge, that comes up.
And one last question, if you know, do you anticipate, that's not the correct word, that increase in trash cost pickup? Is that the right way to say that, within a year, after a year, or?
So one of the great things about a city or a county having a municipal franchise like the city of Richmond does is we have a contract
Right.
so our rate is going to stay the same for the way our contract is written for 1 year, other than the fuel surcharge that fluctuates. Our rate increase that happens on a yearly basis is based upon CPI, and it has as a limit. So that is one of the very wonderful things about having what Richmond has done here with a municipal franchise. There's a level of protection for you guys. People know what's
For
going on.
1 year, right?
Yeah, well, and then at the increase that'll happen next year, it's capped, and it's based upon CPI.
Okay.
And not to exceed 5%.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Any other questions, comments? Well, then, thank you both, and looking forward as we prepare for January 2. In the meantime, of course, I'm sure the city manager is in constant contact, and thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you.
For those who've come tonight who are not aware, there are copies of the agenda immediately behind the attorney there. You can just pick up one of those. We have in our packet the minutes from the regular meeting, October 10, 6 p.m., the workshop meeting, October 19, 12 noon, and the regular meeting, October 24, 6 p.m. If you had a chance to look at those, may we have a motion, please? That we will approve those minutes as presented.
I move.
Commissioner Newby?
Second.
Commissioner Cole, is there any question, comment, discussion of those three sets of minutes? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. Ordinance 23-34, an ordinance amending the boundaries of the city's existing H1 Historical Overlay District. Mr. Attorney, please. This is a second reading.
Whereas the city has an existing historical overlay district which is governed by rules to keep properties in aesthetic conformity, and whereas the Architectural Review Board was established to administer the rules governing the historical district, and whereas the members of the Architectural Review Board have submitted an application to the city to expand the boundaries of the historical district to include more properties, and whereas there have been 2 public hearings, one in front of the Architectural Review Board and one in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and both have voted to approve the H1 expansion. And whereas the issue is now before the City Commission, now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Richmond as follows. The boundaries of the City of Richmond H1 Historical District are hereby changed and expanded. A map of the new H1 boundaries is attached hereto as Exhibit A and incorporated herein. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its enactment following second reading and publication in accordance with the provisions of applicable Kentucky law.
Thank you, sir. That's ordinance 23-34. This is a second reading. May we have a motion, please, to bring the floor for its approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Goble, is there any discussion? Any comments, questions, anything, Mr. Attorney, you want to add at this time? Mr. City Manager, anything? at this
I would just point out, I think it's important to note that this evolved from our Architecture Review Board. It wasn't you all that decided to expand these boundaries. So it's worked its way up from Architectural Review Board through the Planning and Zoning Board to you all for a vote tonight.
So did the planning and zoning review it and agreed with it?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
What if the public has questions, sir?
Not at this time, just
Just-
a moment. Yep. Mr. Attorney, not to put you on the spot, can you recall, first of all, were you in attendance at both of those?
I was for the planning and zoning.
planning zoning? What kind of public attendance was there?
There was some. It was not a packed house that night, but we did hear on both sides, mostly against, by multiple citizens. I would estimate about 10 or so appeared.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? The reason I said not at this time, the discussion during this time is for the commissioners, for the Board of Commissioners only. At the public, that's why I wanted to clarify that there was, for example, before the Architectural Review Board, there was an opportunity, and the Planning and Zoning Commission, there was an opportunity. So public comments were to go before them, and then they send a report based on those. No further?
I'm sorry, I had
Go
just
ahead.
had a few comments. I just wanted to say before we voted that I really appreciate those in our community that want to preserve our history, that care about Richmond and want to preserve our history. This is one of those that, I kind of struggled with a little bit, but at the end of the day, for me personally, I don't want to put additional restrictions on our citizens right now. So I just wanted to explain that before we vote. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate our history, and I love our Richmond and our history that we have here. But at this point in time, I just don't feel comfortable personally putting additional restrictions upon our citizens and expanding that scope. So I just wanted to explain before we went into our vote.
Commissioner Cole, may I please also add to that simply by saying, I know your appreciation for the process.
Yes, very much so.
These two boards or commissions have heard. But I think in the process, perhaps as the attorney has indicated, there may have been some things revealed on the part of some of the citizens that maybe, because, any further, I'm sorry, I didn't want to comment. If there is no further comment from the commission, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Goble?
No.
Commissioner Newby?
No.
Commissioner Brewer?
No.
Commissioner Cole?
No.
Mayor Blythe?
No, thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll declare that the motion has died. Ordinance 23-36, an ordinance of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, closing a street in the city, that being Bill Robertson Way. Mr. Attorney, please.
Whereas the Richmond Industrial Development Corporation, RIDC, has requested the closure of a portion of Bill Robertson Way, and whereas the RIDC wishes to simply move the cul-de-sac further up to allow for more room and easier access to industrial lots, and whereas RIDC is the owner of the property upon which the portion of Bill Robertson Way is located, and there is no other private property which touches or abuts the portion at even a single point. Whereas RIDC has requested that the portion of the roadway be closed, and the Board of Commissioners finds that the portion of the road in question serves no public purpose and should be closed accordingly. Now, therefore, be it ordained that, Section 1, the Board of Commissioners does hereby make the following findings of fact relating to the portion of Bill Robertson Way. The owner of all of the property which abuts Bill Robertson Way at even a single point is the Industrial Board. Written notice of the closing of the Bill Robertson Way was not given to RIDC in view of the fact that it is the entity which requested the closure, as is reflected in the plats of the city. RIDC has consented in a notarized writing to the closing of Bill Robertson Way, in which writing shall be attached to this ordinance and made a part thereof. Section 2, the street at issue is that certain street depicted as Bill Robertson Way on the aerial photograph attached to this ordinance. A portion of the street shall be and hereby is closed to the public and shall not be open to the public and shall not be maintained by the city. Title to the closed street property, including all right-of-way on either side of it, shall revert to the landowner, RIDC. This ordinance shall be effective immediately upon enactment, following second reading and publication in accordance with provisions of applicable Kentucky law.
Thank you, sir. This is a first reading. We will not vote. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for discussion?
So moved.
Commissioner Brewer,
Second.
Commissioner Goble. Any things at the outset here, Mr. City Manager, we want to mention, then
This is located at the end of Industrial Park 3. It's a cul-de-sac, and as you know, we've received our second PDI grant from the state to make this property site-ready for new industry. They're matching $500,000 for a $1 million project. So the engineers have come back and feel like we need to eliminate the cul-de-sac at the end of Industrial Park 3. They'll actually move it on down the road. What that does is it opens up the property to allow us to actually make the property site-ready for 2 buildings. And it's a more attractive layout for large industry. So
is this the one at the end by the energy,
past Asahi Forge
Yes.
and go all the way out to the very end
Yeah,
of the
turn back.
cul-de-sac. It's right there.
Bluegrass Energy is what I was trying to think.
Yeah, so we're just
It's Kentucky
eliminating the
Power.
cul-de-sac and bringing it in.
When was the last time you drove out there?
It's been a week or so.
Were there any new tire tracks out there?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Every time we have a site visit, David and I go out and pick up tires and some other garments you might be interested in.
Where's Rumpke?
Talking trash again, Mr. Attorney.
That never goes away. Never goes away.
I was just wondering, that would be a good move.
Yeah.
Any other comment or question? This is, again, first reading. All right, thank you. Order 23-188, an order of the City of Richmond accepting a resignation by an employee in the Public Works Department. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas Kyle Morrison, Equipment Operator 1 in the Public Works Department, has submitted his resignation notice to the city, now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners accepts the resignation from Kyle Morrison from the Public Works Department effective November 10th. The Board of Commissioners would like to thank Mr. Morrison for his service since March of 2023. This order shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-188. May we have a motion, please, bring to the floor for discussion and approval.
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer. Is there any discussion? Let's see, Josh is not here. There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. Order 23-189, an order of the City of Richmond approving a change order for the Allen Drive Stormwater Improvement Project. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the city is beginning to start necessary stormwater improvements on Allen Drive, and there's a change order needed in order to move forward. And whereas Bell Engineering has submitted task order number 1 for consideration and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement on behalf of the city. And whereas the city commission has reviewed the agreement and made a recommendation to move forward. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners to authorize the following task order for Allen Drive Stormwater Improvement Project between the City of Richmond and B&M Pipeline, Inc. Task order number 1 for additional milling and change drainage structure types due to gas line conflicts, $11,838.30. The mayor is hereby authorized to execute same on behalf of the city. This order shall take effect upon reading and passage by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-189. May we have a motion, please, to bring the floor for approval?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Mr. Cole, Mr. Goble. Is there any discussion?
Mayor, Commissioners, I will say, we anticipated gas lines with this project, and Scott is actually upgrading some lines, if I'm not mistaken, but we did run into where we had to do additional milling on the paving for the drainage to run properly, and that's what this is for.
Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-190, an order of the City of Richmond approving a task order for the Armory Park project. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the City Commission is finalizing construction on the 321 North Second Street Armory Park project, there is a task order needed in order to close out the project. And whereas Bell Engineering has submitted task order 20 for consideration and authorizing the mayor to sign on behalf of the city. And whereas the City Commission has reviewed that agreement and made a recommendation, now therefore be it ordered that the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners authorize task orders for Armory Park property between the City of Richmond and DeVere Construction. Task order number 20, subcontracting landscaping sod, $9,000. The mayor is authorized to execute same on behalf of the city. This order shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-190. May we have a motion, please? Bring the floor for approval.
I move.
Second.
Commissioner Newby, Commissioner Goble. Is there any discussion?
I do promise you this is the last task order.
Yeah.
I can finally say that. And this is actually on me because they were gonna seed it and put straw on it, and I just felt like it'd be better to sod it. And it wasn't 2 days after we sodded it, we had an accident and they ran through the sod, so.
I was going to ask about that.
And they've repaired that as well, so this is the final task order, I promise.
Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole.
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-191, order of the City of Richmond adopting a job description for the Codes, Planning, Safety, and Risk Management Department. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the City of Richmond has adopted job descriptions for the employees, and whereas after review, it has been determined that this position needs a job description adopted for better city services. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the following job description and pay grade for the City of Richmond is hereby adopted. Codes, Planning, Safety and Risk Management Department, Animal Control Officer, pay grade 4. The attached job description shall be made a part of the city's job descriptions and incorporated into their departmental structure. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's 23-191, order 23-191. May we have a motion, please? Bring the floor for approval.
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer. Any discussion? Just, Mr. City Manager, just a couple of questions and being totally transparent. What is at this point, the relationship, I'll use that term, with respect to animal control with the county?
Well, if you recall, years ago, we had a joint government meeting with Berea, the county, and Richmond out at the Extension Office to discuss this very issue. And the county took the stance that the animal center what's the better name for it, the,
Animal shelter.
animal shelter was just that, just a shelter, and they weren't to provide animal control to the cities. And so, for a city our size, we run into this frequently. So we had in the budget, and we have received our animal control vehicle with the climate-controlled camper on it, and we're ready to go. So this job description fills that position. Now, this individual won't be just animal control. They will also do codes enforcement work and be on call to do animal control. So it's important for a community our size to get headed down this road with this service to our citizens.
Thank you, sir. I was, what did that? Any other discussion? Oh, excuse me, Mr. City Manager, and I'm sorry, I didn't do my homework on this one. Do we still have a budgeted amount that goes to the shelter or to the county for the shelter?
We do not. Years ago, the board decided no longer to pay that because they didn't feel we were getting the services we were supposed to. So we do not provide funding to the Madison County Animal Shelter. The idea with this is that we will do a deal with the county where if we have to drop off an animal, it's a cost to us as a city on a per animal basis, is what we're looking to try to establish.
Thank you, sir. All right, any further? If not, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Mayor Blight?
Yes, thank you. Order 23-192, a joint resolution of the City of Richmond, City of Berea, and Madison County, acknowledging the desire to collaborate on economic development projects impacting all jurisdictions. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the City of Richmond, the City of Berea, and Madison County are committed to maximizing the Commerce Lexington economic development regional opportunities for their citizens, and whereas all three jurisdictions recognize the need to collaborate to recruit large employers and bring jobs and opportunities to our citizens, and whereas each jurisdiction shall maintain their own recruitment in their jurisdictions, but will collaborate when appropriate opportunities arrive where joint cooperations will bring competitive advantages to the citizens as a whole. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners does hereby support and express its collaboration between the three governments. The City of Richmond has committed $35,000 based off the 2020 census population. Funding for the Regional Competitiveness Strategies Investment Program will be paid out of the non-departmental contingency account.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-192. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for approval?
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second.
Commissioner Goble. What discussion is there?
Mayor?
Yes,
if I
sir.
may. Will this any way interfere with the website that we have been putting together with our small business?
No, this is
It doesn't
completely
take
separate.
money from
Yeah.
that?
No.
This is a website that they are doing, that they're asking this funding.
Well, it's Commerce Lexington trying to market us as a regional economic development area. And so Commerce Lexington takes the lead on it with a website and marketing tools for new industry and economic development. And we're just partnering with them to follow along with them, really. I know Berea, Madison County, what are the other ones in it? It's all the surrounding counties of Fayette County are participating.
So all of the counties are putting into this
Georgetown,
fund.
Scott County,
Yeah.
Woodford, like everybody contiguous to Fayette is involved with it, and everybody's,
So Fayette County is the lead agency?
they are, yes, pretty much.
Yeah, Commerce Lexington.
It's a great group, though. If you go to any of their meetings, there are, 150 people there, and they're from every county.
I don't see anything wrong with it, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get to the,
Well, they're having another meeting, that's why Lisa sent something out, but their big meeting is November the 29th, and it'll be huge. I went last year, and it's very impressive. They've done a lot of great homework. Ted Abernathy is phenomenal, and he's from North Carolina, but he's spent a lot of hours on this to, you know, when an industry comes, they're not just looking at a city per se. They're typically looking at a region, you know. And so this will just help put us on the map better than we have been before.
David Stipes and Carrie Hensley will be attending that summit on the 29th.
Good.
So
Do we do this yearly, the 35,000? Do we do that every year?
it's based on population, and it is an annual cost.
If we, I mean, we're gonna see what comes from it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you said.
That's the key, is gauging our return on investment.
Sure.
Obviously, if we land an industry through this networking process, then it's well worth our money.
Right.
Now, here's my narrow-mindedness. If we were to authorize the check, just follow with me here, would it be made to Commerce Lexington?
That's my understanding.
I think so. I mean, it
Yeah.
has to go through somewhere. It's probably their economic development arm is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking, that it would go through Jenna
They've
Greathouse's
hired a
office.
consultant to help them with this. My understanding is the check goes to Commerce Lexington.
Commerce Lexington.
And they pay the,
Somewhere
Yeah.
down the road, they're proposing, if I remember the conversation, they're proposing then to rebrand so that it indicates the region as
Yeah.
opposed to what folks would automatically think if they saw that, which is Lexington.
Lexington, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my narrow-mindedness.
No, you're right. You're right on point, because we heard the same thing in that presentation.
Yes. Thank you.
What I remember out of that presentation that they gave us, they kept saying, Richmond, you're doing this right. That's what they told us. You've all been doing this correct. And if this adds to that, then I'm 100%
Yes.
behind it.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-193, an order of the City of Richmond awarding a bid for the traffic signal installation project at Duckhorn and Great House Drive. Commissioner Cole, may I read that again, please?
Yes, please.
still says it's not
Traffic
coming.
signal.
Yes, please. I'll take one.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Seriously, thank you. Duckhorn and Great House Drive. Mr. City Manager, please.
Yes, sir. Whereas the citizens of Richmond have expressed great safety concerns on a highly traveled intersection on the Robert R. Martin bypass at Duckhorn Drive and Great House Drive, and the city wishes to move forward in collaboration with the State Transportation Cabinet on this new turn lane traffic signal project, and whereas bid specs were advertised and one bid was submitted, and whereas the bid has been reviewed and recommendations have been made to accept the bid, now therefore be ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the bid for the traffic signal at Great House and Duckhorn Drive project is awarded to the Allen Company Incorporated of Lexington, Kentucky in the amount of $508,503.91. Funding for this project will be allocated as followed. State Transportation Cabinet, $150,000. City of Richmond Capital Projects, $250,000. City of Richmond Non-Department Contingency Fund, $108,503.91. The bid is attached to the order. The mayor is hereby authorized to sign the contract with said company. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading the adoption by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. That's order 23-193. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Cole.
Oh, it's a left. Second.
Commissioner Cole. Any discussion?
Moving forward, after you sign this order, Mayor, we'll be in contact with the engineering company and Allen Company and enter into the contract phase. And once contracts are executed, the Allen Company can give us a timeline schedule for construction. So I'll probably update you with that at the next meeting or the first meeting in December.
If you'll read between the lines with me, please, and I mean that seriously, is there to be any other financial participation?
I'm working on it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to District 7 with my 10 cans, so we'll see what I come back with.
Offering plate.
Any private?
Not that I'm aware of at this time.
All right, thank you, sir.
I will say that the private developer involved with pushing this project is absorbing all the engineering and architect fees. So they are paying for that.
Thank you, thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
How convenient. I like that. Good timing, Madam Clerk.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, don't get worried. We really do like each other.
Yeah.
We'll be glad for Tammy to not talk about this anymore.
We really do like each other, yeah.
She's gonna ask me in her comments
Oh,
when it's gonna
yes,
start, I
she is.
guarantee.
No, I won't know how to act, not having that in my comments every time now. Well, we're still a ways. We'll still be able to discuss it for several meetings, I'm
That's
sure,
right.
before implementation.
I'm looking forward to it.
So you can come to the meeting, and what was that movie? I forget the vacation. Are we there yet?
Yeah, that's me.
Are we there yet?
That's me.
Order 23-194, an order of the City of Richmond hiring an employee for the Public Works Department. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the Public Works Department is in need of a full-time laborer, and where the position was advertised and interviews conducted, and whereas the city manager has recommended the hire for this position. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the following individual is hired contingent upon their successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements as laborer for the Public Works Department, effective November 20th, 2023, pay grade 1. Ryan McKinney. He is an at-will employee and will serve a one-year probationary period. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-194. May we have a motion, please, to bring the floor for approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Goble
Second.
and Commissioner Newby. Is there any discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. May we have a motion, please, to amend the agenda to include orders 23-195 and 23-196.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Cole and Commissioner Newby. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Ayes have it, so ordered. All right, thank you. Order 23-195, and I believe the clerk has distributed those to us. Madam Clerk, please, 195.
An order of the City of Richmond declaring certain vehicle surplus in the city and providing for its disposal. Whereas the City of Richmond has a certain vehicle that is no longer usable in the city, and whereas there is an agency that can use this vehicle for public purpose, and whereas in public interest to dispose of this vehicle to this other agency for their use. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the City of Richmond shall dispose of the following vehicle to the Madison County Coroner's Office, 2013 Ford Explorer. This vehicle is no longer usable by the city, and disposable of this is the best method and highest best purpose. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-195. May we have a motion, please, to approve?
So moved.
Commissioner Goble,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer. Is there any discussion? I'll just say this, talking with him the week before last, the coroner is very appreciative of the assistance that we've been able to provide in that way. So much of his work, and this sounds so crass, but so much of his work is inside the city of Richmond. And so he appreciates what you have done to assist with the vehicle that was purchased before. He said, you know, I've never had a new vehicle. Discussion further? All in favor of this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Ayes have it, so thank you. Order 23-196. Order of the Board of Commissioners approving a change order for the Madison Hall of Justice Building renovation project. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the City of Richmond has started construction on the facility known as the Madison Hall of Justice, and whereas the facility which houses the Madison District Court and administrative offices contracted by GRW Engineers, Inc., and has recommended a change order in order to move forward. And whereas the Commission has reviewed the agreement and made the recommendation to move forward. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners to authorize the following change order for Madison Hall of Justice between the City of Richmond and Omni Commercial LLC. Task order number 6, mechanical and twin fire services to rework the HVAC ductwork and sprinklers, $5,974.25. The mayor is authorized to execute same on behalf of the city. This order shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
For this, reading, good. Whoa, I was reading after you. Don't worry about it. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for approval? I was reading along after you, and I was about 3 words behind you.
Oh, okay.
I move.
Commissioner Newby
I'll second.
and Commissioner Cole. Is there any discussion?
This change order is reimbursable from the Administrative Office of the Courts, and it's something they got into with, has to do with fire safety when moving some sprinklers around some air duct work. So it has to be done.
And that is an old building.
Yes,
Yeah.
and a wonderful building.
And it's
Absolutely
indeed.
wonderful.
Keep it for a long, 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 long time. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who's come tonight to give public comments on any matter? If so, if you'd come please to the podium, give your name so that the clerk can record. And the matter, this is, just remember, this is not a discussion time. It's for you to make your comments should you so desire. Anyone? There being none, Mr. City Manager, please.
Mayor, Commissioners, I have 4 items tonight. The first one is we held our annual surplus auction last Saturday. You all approved that list of items, and we actually sold almost $29,000 worth of surplus items. So didn't have a big turnout, but they had their checkbooks with them, so that's good.
That's good.
The paving project for this fall has concluded, and I want to remind you that if you have citizens reach out to you about roads that need to be paved, send me an email or call me, and I'll add them to the list, and we can get them done next fall when we do this again. I reached out to the City Visions group, Wayland Group out of Louisville, in reference to the Glendon Hotel feasibility study. Hadn't heard from them in a while. They've been busy with a big project that ended, or opened, I should say, today, actually. So they'll be doing another site visit to Richmond in the first 2 weeks of December. And I would say we would get deliverables after the first year, sometime for the phase 1 of that feasibility study. Also have some good news about our federal EDA grant for the Men's Rehab Center. It made it through the round 1 of reviews where they eliminate applications, and has moved up the chain to second round of review. So that's promising. Usually if you make it that far, you've got a good chance. So we're excited about that. Hopefully we'll hear something about it, I'd say after first year sometime. And that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Goble?
So my other hat, you know, that I wear is Leadership Madison County. And today we had Education Day. And I just don't know if people realize how blessed we are in this community with such amazing educational institutions, starting with Madison County Schools and all the way up. But we were able to go to Berea College and also to EKU and do the aviation simulators, and they loved that. But one thing I wanted to point out was the Ignite building. And I'm not sure employers know what a gold mine that is there, but there's so many opportunities that lie within the Ignite schools for employers to, you know, take advantage of the welding programs and mainly getting employees eventually that could be potential people for their, you know, their companies. So anyway, it was a beautiful facility, and if you haven't gone to see one, I'm sure they'd love to show it off to you, so.
Is
That's
that
all.
where our city attorney was all day?
That is where your city attorney was today.
Had a great time.
I came looking for him several times.
That's all.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Newby?
I don't have anything per se, but I would like to say that, you know, our city has lost another good member of our family. Charlie Smith passed away last week, Chico. And I worked with him at the fire department, and he was a retiree from the fire department. I think he's been working for the county school system past several years, but his whole family, you know, he had two brothers and a nephew on the fire department. I think his brother ran the street department for years, but I didn't know him really well, but I knew him enough to know that he was probably one of the kindest souls that I've ever encountered. You know, he really wore his heart on his sleeve, and my condolences to his family.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Cole?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everyone that the holidays are coming up soon. Christmas is coming soon. And we've had a lot of staff from the city that have been working hard to have some additional options this year. So I just encourage everyone to go to the website, Facebook, and check out, you know, the City of Richmond Parks and Recreation, because there's lots of options. You know, you traditionally think about our Christmas parade, which is absolutely wonderful, so make sure you mark your calendar for that. But we're also going to have some other options, you know, letters from Santa, and you can sign up for visits from Santa, and some things we're going to be doing at Irvin McDowell Park. So there's all kinds of stuff going on, and I think Sundays with Santa, where you can have some photos with your family and Santa, just lots and lots of options. So get your calendar out and pencil some of those things in, and make sure that you participate in those events. We're going to have some fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner Brewer?
All of our lighting done downtown now?
Except for the globes on top of the traffic signals.
Yeah.
And then the lighting that will go around the courthouse when that renovation's complete. But they did finally get the string lights working from
Together.
Third to Lancaster. I drove
It's
through
starting to
last
look
night.
well.
It's
It
beautiful.
really looks good. It lights up downtown
nice.
wonderfully. Yeah.
Now, once we get some renovation done, other than the street lights and the paving and the sidewalks, what can you say about downtown Richmond, right?
There's been a long list of stuff we've made an effort.
Yes, you've done well.
Yep.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Let me just mention a couple of things quickly. Last night, I had the honor to, privilege to attend the annual Farm City Banquet, and I want to encourage us to understand that's a tremendous opportunity for, so to speak, city folk and country folk to come together and just enjoy what we have in common. And it really is an outstanding event, and I appreciate the presence of the commissioners who were there, and it was just a nice time. The Armory Park is being used. I stopped there as I came in this evening. It's really being used. It's serving its purpose. I asked some of the people who were there, one mother, actually a grandmother, and asked her, "Where do you live?" And she said, "I live just a block over there." It's serving its purpose. We wanted to serve that area of the community where there is no park. And lots of children were there. There were some guys who were shooting basketball. There were some children who were skateboard park with no skateboards. They were about yay high. So, oh my. So I had to turn my head. But they were having a ball. They were having an absolute ball. But we, without any reservation, need to know that park is going to serve a tremendous purpose, and that's a good thing. Give a shout out to the folks out at Skyline Chili. They're open. I told them, I know there's one in Lexington. I said, now I don't have to drive all the way to Dry Ridge to get Skyline, but they're open and hoping they will do well. Another food option for us. And again, hopefully they will do well. Please be aware that the third, I believe, in the series of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet's West Richmond proposal. The meeting this coming Monday, November 20, 10:30 a.m., ground floor at the Madison County Public Library. They will then present the results of their surveys, their public meetings, and so on. I didn't realize they'd already had one. I attended the second. That's when I came back and told you that was something we did want to watch, because they're talking about such things as the Tates Creek corridor, the Goggins Lane corridor, the Barnes Mill, those things that we were really concerned about. And we can hear then from them what they have concluded with the information they've gathered. Some of our people were there from planning and zoning, and that was a good thing. So, but they're going to present, however, Monday at 10:30, they're going to present the results of the work they've done thus far. And Thursdays, let's see, don't forget Thursday's workshop meeting. The director of the Louisville HUD office will be here to discuss the work of Section 8. And let's see, today, again, it was a privilege to speak to one of the classes at EKU in recreation. And their questions, they prepared some questions. Their questions were about what the city of Richmond is doing to accommodate those with disabilities and so on. I said, what is the city, they asked, going to do? And I just rested for a moment. And Jim, then I said, it's not what we're going to do, it's what we've done and what we're doing already. And it struck me, and even was stated, that the communication is not that good between some of those students who are on the campus. And but that class dealt with such issues as Disabilities Act and so on, and they wanted to know what kinds of things the city's doing. I said, even in our newest parks, there are provisions made. At Lake Reba Park, there is an all-inclusive playground. So it isn't what we're sitting back twiddling our thumbs thinking of doing, it's what we're already doing and already have done, for which the city of Richmond ought to be proud. So I said, now what needs to happen is, however, there needs to be a way of communicating that, both directions. Kelly McBride was there, a public information officer, and she and I discussed the possibility of getting some things, Amy, perhaps, that we're doing into the Progress, the Eastern Progress newspaper, and that kind of thing, so that we get the information flowing both ways, and students will know. And I asked a question. Sorry, I did, Francis. How many of you go into downtown Richmond? There wasn't a hand. But that illustrates a point that maybe we can better the communication. We've got 2 or 3 kernel paths. Maybe we can get folks using one of them. But those kinds of things just brought up some issues that we need to take a look at as we try to better our town-gown relationship. So, Amy, I'm so glad you're here, and faithfully so. And we can talk about those things. I believe that's it. If
All hearts
All
and
hearts and minds.
minds are clear. You're finishing your
All
sentence.
hearts and minds are clear. We will, and I believe that is it. Madam Clerk, anything that's come through the offices we need to mention tonight? All right, if not, all hearts and minds are clear. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second,
Commissioner Goble, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goble?
yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Mayor Blair?
Yes, thank you so much, and good to see all of you.